Top HFY story, Trouble at the Border and No Holds Barred Boxing Tournament, 2613, r/HFY. Trouble at the Border. The year was 2613, and humanity's frontier colonies stretched far across the galactic rim. On the edge of Terran space, the border with the Scaith Dominion was a tense, fragile line. Despite treaties and trade agreements, Scaith raiders frequently crossed the boundary, testing the resolve of the Terran Colonial Defense Corps, TCDC. Lieutenant Avery Kane, stationed at the border outpost on Epsilon Dusk, had seen her share of skirmishes, but this time, the situation was different. Reports of a Scaith battle group lingering near the border had put the station on high alert. Lieutenant Kane called Sergeant Torres, her second-in-command. "We've got movement, Sector 9. Avery strode to the command console, her cybernetic eye whirring softly as it focused on the display. A cluster of ships, their jagged profiles unmistakably Scaith, hovered just outside the border. They were too organized for raiders. "Comms, open a channel," Avery ordered. The screen flickered, and the Scaith commander appeared, a towering figure with reptilian features and glinting armor. "Humans," the commander hissed, "your time on this frontier is over. We will reclaim what is ours." Avery's voice was steady, firm. "The Terran Alliance recognizes this as neutral space. Any incursion will be met with force." The Scaith commander laughed, a guttural sound that echoed across the bridge. "Force? Your kind does not understand true strength. Prepare yourselves." As the transmission cut, alarms blared. The Scaith ships were advancing. "Activate defense protocols," Avery barked. The station's automated turrets sprang to life, and patrol ships scrambled to intercept the attackers. The battle was fierce, but humanity had learned from centuries of war. Using advanced tactics and superior coordination, the TCDC managed to repel the Scaith battle group. Avery's leadership turned the tide, and the Scaith retreated, their pride wounded but their threat far from over. For Avery, it was another day defending humanity's place in the stars, but she knew this was just the beginning. The border would never truly be safe, not until humanity proved it could stand its ground against any challenger. No Holds Barred Boxing Tournament. In the sprawling megacity of Neoterra Prime, the annual intergalactic boxing tournament was more than a sporting event. It was a spectacle of human resilience. Fighters from across the galaxy gathered to compete in the No Holds Barred tournament, where the only rule was to win. Jace Iron Fist Morgan was a rising star. Born in the underbelly of the megacity, he had clawed his way out of the slums with a combination of raw talent and unshakable determination. This year, he was representing humanity against challengers from dozens of alien species. The final match was against Kaelva, a hulking alien from the Zereth Consortium, standing over 8 feet tall with 4 arms and a natural exoskeleton. Kaelva was the reigning champion for 3 years running. The arena roared as the fighters entered. Jace, clad in lightweight armor to augment his speed, raised his fists, the Terran flag emblazoned on his gloves. Kaelva bellowed, his alien voice reverberating through the crowd. The bell rang. Kaelva charged, his forearms swinging like hammers. Jace ducked and weaved, landing quick jabs to the alien's torso. The crowd gasped as Kaelva grabbed Jace mid-dodge, hurling him across the ring. But Jace wasn't just a brawler, he was a strategist. He used the arena's environment to his advantage, bouncing off walls and landing precise strikes on Kaelva's vulnerable joints. Round after round, the battle raged. Jace's endurance and ingenuity began to wear down the alien titan. In the final round, with both fighters exhausted, Jace unleashed a devastating uppercut, enhanced by his cybernetic augmentations. Kaelva staggered, then collapsed. The crowd erupted in cheers as Jace was declared the victor. Humanity had claimed the championship once again, proving that no matter the odds, no matter the opponent, humans had the heart to persevere. Both tales, Trouble at the Border and No Holds Barred Boxing Tournament, encapsulate the spirit of HFY, humanity, fuck yeah, resilience, ingenuity, and the unyielding will to overcome any challenge. Aftermath of the border clash. The victory at Epsilon Dusk was a momentary reprieve, but Avery Kane knew the Scaith wouldn't let the defeat go unanswered. As the outpost's engineers repaired the station's defenses and pilots tended to their battered ships, she convened a meeting with her senior staff. "We may have won today," she began, her voice echoing in the war room, "but the Scaith don't take humiliation lightly. We need to prepare for a counterattack. Intel suggests they're massing reinforcements near the Alaris Nebula, Torres reported, pointing to a holographic map. If they strike, it'll be with overwhelming force. Avery's mind raced. The TCDC couldn't hold off an entire fleet alone. Reinforcements from Terran High Command were weeks away, and the Skaith wouldn't wait. What if we don't wait for them to come to us? She asked. The room fell silent. You're suggesting we take the fight to them? Torres asked, incredulous. Exactly. If we strike their staging area at the nebula, we can disrupt their plans and buy ourselves more time, Avery replied. The team debated the risks, but in the end, they agreed. The next morning, the TCDC launched a daring raid on the Skaith fleet. Using the nebula's dense clouds as cover, Avery's forces struck swiftly, targeting supply ships and command vessels. The Skaith were caught off guard, their fleet thrown into disarray. The operation was a resounding success, and for the first time in years, humanity gained the upper hand on the border. Avery's bold leadership became the stuff of legend, a story told across Terran space as a testament to human courage. Jace's rising star. After his victory at the tournament, Jace Morgan's name became synonymous with Terran pride. Sponsorships poured in, and he was invited to compete in exhibitions across the galaxy. But Jace wasn't content to bask in his newfound fame. He had bigger goals. The tournament was just the beginning, Jace told his coach, Rayna, as they trained in a private gym overlooking the neon skyline of Neoterra Prime. I want to show the galaxy what humanity is really made of. His next challenge came in the form of a high-stakes invitational on Korma Prime, a neutral planet known for hosting interspecies competitions. Unlike the boxing tournament, this event allowed a mix of combat styles, from grappling to energy-based weaponry. Jace spent months training, adapting his techniques to counter alien fighting styles. He worked with a diverse team of human and alien coaches, learning everything from Zirath exoskeleton striking points to the balance-disrupting techniques used by the gravity-shifting Elari. The invitational was grueling, with each round pushing Jace to his limits. He faced a dazzling array of opponents, a telekinetic fighter from the Auralian Syndicate, a shape-shifting predator from the Vyari clans, and even a mechanical combatant piloted by a sentient AI. Despite the challenges, Jace's adaptability and relentless determination carried him through. In the final match, he squared off against an Elari fighter, a master of gravity manipulation. The alien's ability to shift the battlefield's physics forced Jace to rethink his approach. Drawing on his training, he used the gravity shifts to his advantage, launching himself into mid-air strikes and creating momentum where there was none. In a breathtaking finale, Jace landed a blow so precise it incapacitated his opponent, earning him the championship. Humanity's unyielding spirit. Across the galaxy, the stories of Lieutenant Avery Kane and Jace Morgan spread like wildfire. One defending humanity's borders with courage and strategy, the other proving humanity's strength through sheer determination and adaptability. In a universe filled with countless species and challenges, these tales reminded everyone, friend and foe alike, that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. Whether in the cold vacuum of space or the heated arena of combat, humans would always rise to the challenge. And this was only the beginning. The Skaith retaliation. Months after the daring raid on the Alaris Nebula, the Skaith made their next move. Unlike their previous blunt offensives, this time they employed cunning and subterfuge. Reports of sabotage and espionage filtered in from colonies along the border, and it became clear that the Skaith were playing a longer game. Lieutenant Avery Kane, now promoted to commander, was summoned to Terran High Command for a critical briefing. The Skaith are targeting our supply lines, Admiral Cole said, projecting a map of recent incidents. They're trying to weaken our colonies before launching a full-scale invasion. Avery studied the map. The attacks formed a pattern, a slow, deliberate chokehold. We need to draw them out, she said. Force them into a direct engagement where we have the advantage. The room buzzed with skepticism. And how do you propose we do that? One officer asked. We give them a target they can't resist, a convoy carrying advanced Terran technology, Avery replied. The plan was risky, but it worked. A disguised convoy, loaded with decoy cargo and hidden strike teams, traveled through the Skaith's suspected routes. As expected, the Skaith took the bait. When their fleet attacked, the TCDC sprang the trap. Hidden warships emerged from hyperspace, cutting off the Skaith's escape. The ensuing battle was a masterpiece of strategy, with Avery coordinating strikes that neutralized the enemy fleet's command structure. The victory wasn't just a tactical win, it was a psychological blow to the Skaith. For the first time, they retreated from the border entirely, leaving humanity a much-needed reprieve. Jace Morgan, champion turned diplomat. Jace Morgan's fame had reached a level few humans could match. But with fame came responsibilities he hadn't anticipated. After his victories, he was approached by Terran diplomats who saw his popularity as an opportunity to build bridges, or at least keep tensions in check, with other species. "I'm a fighter, not a politician," Jace said during their first meeting. "Exactly," Ambassador Sinclair replied. "That's why they'll listen to you. You've earned their respect in ways we never could." Reluctantly, Jace agreed to join a delegation to the Vyari clans, one of humanity's oldest rivals. The Vyari admired strength above all else, and Jace's victories in the ring had made him a household name in their territory. Upon arriving on the Vyari homeworld, Jace found himself thrust into a cultural ritual, a ceremonial combat trial. Refusing would have been an insult, but it was clear this was more than just tradition, it was a test. Jace faced the Vyari champion, a lithe, six-limbed warrior named Ksha. Unlike his previous opponents, Ksha fought with a combination of speed, deception, and psychological warfare. She taunted him, trying to bait him into reckless moves. But Jace was no stranger to mind games. He kept his focus, adapting to her style with every passing moment. In a climactic exchange, he feigned a stumble, luring Ksha into a trap. His counterstrike ended the match decisively. The Vyari were impressed. Jace had proven that humans could match their strength and cunning. The delegation's negotiations that followed were smoother than anyone had expected, with new trade agreements and peace accords signed within weeks. Humanity's momentum. As 2613 drew to a close, humanity's place in the galaxy had shifted dramatically. The Skaith were in retreat, their ambitions checked by Commander Kane's brilliance. On diplomatic fronts, Jace Morgan's victories had opened doors previously thought closed. These stories inspired millions across the Terran Alliance. Recruitment for the TCDC surged, and humanity's cultural influence grew as alien species sought to understand the resilient, unpredictable species that had carved out its place in the galaxy against all odds. But both Avery and Jace knew their work was far from over. The galaxy was vast, and the challenges humanity faced were only growing. For now, though, they could take pride in their roles as symbols of humanity's indomitable spirit. Whether on the battlefield or in the arena, humanity had shown it was here to stay, and ready to fight for its future. And as the stars beckoned, one thing was certain: humanity would answer the call.